Hey guys, today we're gonna do a little informal sump pit update. Or upgrade, shall I say. As you can see over here, this is the crappy sump pit I had in the house. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna dig this sump pit a little bit further down, so make it a little bit more deep, and then I could use a homemade bucket paired with some fabric to act as a, I guess, informal sump pit basin. So I kind of measured it should have enough clearance to put that size. It's like a 5-gallon bucket in there. So the first thing first is I got a new 5-gallon bucket, so I'm gonna drill the hole on the bucket and then add some filter material on the exterior of the bucket and then drop that bucket in here. And we're also gonna have to use a shovel to dig the hole a little bit deeper so I can set the entire bucket in there, which in turn I should be able to set the stainless steel plus cast iron sump pump. This is from Rigid, from Home Depot. I actually have a review of it. I'll put the link down below. It's a very good sump pump, which should be able to fit in the bucket over there. And then I should be able to have a much more reliable system than just sitting the sump pump right here in the mud over here. Okay, so first thing first, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to drill some hole on the bucket, get the bucket ready, and then we're going to come down here and continue digging the hole, make it deeper, then put the sump pump in there and give it a try. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what I have here is simply just a 5-gallon bucket from local hardware store. I already removed the little holder over here because I probably don't need it. And to do this, we're gonna have to have a drill ready. So over here I'm using my Bosch 18 volts brushless drill, and the bit, I think it's a 3/8 inch bit. I think that's what usually people use to get the size of the hole that they want on the bucket. So we're just gonna start drilling. I'm gonna drill a hole vertically across the bucket and leave the bottom intact. I'm not gonna drill any hole on the bottom. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so finished drilling holes all around, and this should get sufficient water flow going in here if there's a storm coming. But mainly I have the sump pit set up for the how do you call it, for the dehumidifier, which is the biggest water producer in the basement. So this should be enough to do all kinds of jobs. And the next step, what are we going to do with this is we're going to use some of the like the landscaping barrier. This is used to be put on the ground on the landscaping to prevent the grass and the weeds from growing. This is nice because this material actually allows water to go through, but it filters out dust and sand and all kinds of other crappy stuff that you don't want to get into the bucket. And so we're gonna use this, and it's very cheap. It's, I think, less than $10 for a roll. And we're only gonna use a little bit for this project. The rest you can use it in your garden or wherever you like to use it. Okay, so let's get started. So as you can see, this is kind of transparent, so it allows the water to go through. And I think I'm gonna wrap probably 2 to 3 layers around the bucket, just to make sure that the filtration of the dust is a little bit better than with just the hole by itself. Okay, so let's cut it, and we're gonna find a way. We're gonna try to find a way to mount it onto the bucket and see how it goes. So as you guys can see, I spent a little bit of the time wrapping up the entire bucket, and initially I secured it with just some electric tape, water resistant electric tape, just to secure it on the bottom so I can wrap it nicely. And then at the very end, use a zip tie to tie the whole thing on the bucket, nice and secure. So it shouldn't be moving around. And again, you don't have to tie it like really tight, because it's not gonna be moving around. It's just gonna sit there, so nothing's gonna happen. But this is how I did it. So feel free to find your creative way of wrapping up the fabric onto the bucket. And this should prevent a lot of dust from going, a lot of like large particles from going into the bucket. So this part is done. Now we have to go down into the basement and try to dig that hole a little bit deeper so I can put the entire thing in there and have it work as a sump pit basin. And because my basement area is pretty cramped, as I showed you guys earlier, I'm using a very short and small shovel to try to dig that hole. And I also got a little gardening, I don't know how do you call this, but this is a little stainless steel gardening tool. I should be able to get some liquid out of the sump pit as well using this. So let's go down, and we're gonna start digging. All right, so I kind of have my camera pointed at the sump pit. As you can see, it's a nasty pile of goo right here, because I already tried to clear some of the goo earlier in a bucket. And now the water has cleared up a little bit. I was using my hammer drill, the Bosch hammer drill, to do that job. But now I think I'm just going to use my hand to dig, because I realize this is mostly just mud. So shovels here, and let's see if I can get some of the stuff up. And there are some weird bugs in here as well. So we're almost there. Just wanted it to be a little bit deeper so I can have the whole thing in there, and then rest myself right here, and it should do its job perfectly fine. Okay, so I would say at this point it should already be working fine, but I wanted it to be deeper, so we dug deeper, and we're going to use a hammer drill a little bit. And I think besides that filter, I'm gonna eventually put some stone gravel around the edge so it further filters down the dust and the dirt that's gonna come into the bucket and then into the sump pit. Okay, so it should help quite a lot. Now, as you can see, it's the hole's actually pretty deep now. Let me put the bucket in there and just take a quick look. Still needs to be a little bit wider. You can see a mark over here. So we're gonna dug a little more. I'm gonna change the drill bit. Use the chisel bit. Should dug it faster. Okay, let's see. Breaks down stones pretty quick. Give it another try. Okay. All right, so it's pretty much almost flush with the, kind of hard to see, with the ground, and I can perfectly just fit my sump pump in here, and as water fills up, it should be able to trigger and then pumps out everything in the sump pump. Okay, so I think to top it off, I need to go to the hardware store, get some gravel, and then actually just fill the gaps on the side of the bucket, so it's more stable, and it also filters out more dirt and sand from being sucked up into the sump pump. Okay, so this is how you do a quick, simple 5-gallon bucket sump pump basin conversion. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe, and I should have more similar home improvement videos coming out for you guys. Thanks again, and take care.